Now, what do you think the president should say tomorrow night? I mean, previously, before this whole Russian initiative, he was clearly going to be trying to make the case of why there is a red line in chemical weapons, why there has to be.
I think he should say the United States has long taken this position about chemical weapons for the reasons that we all talked about. Our goal is to prevent their use by any means possible, that without him taking a stand on this, the world would have looked away, and he has forced it onto the global agenda, got a consensus at G20 unanimously that chemical weapons were used and that chemical weapons must never be used. Right. And if he can do this without military action, he will. But he's going to ask for that ability, because part of what might make it possible to do this without military action is the threat of military action.
So you think they should still bring it to a vote on Capitol Hill?
I don't know, because it depends what happens in the next few days. And in some ways,
no, it's being
all
delayed.
the timing of this is muddled, jumbled
up. It's going to be voted on. But
so Andrew, suppose the Congress votes it down, what should he do?
He should not go to war.
Well, what should he do if it votes it down?
You know what? He has executive power to do it. He's drawn his red line. In any event, I'm sure he won't do it.
Charlie,
and
he's
many,
not going to
many
be able
people,
to do anything.
Many countries.
If Congress says no, he's not.
I'm sure he won't do it. I'm sure he won't do it if Congress votes him down. But
do you think he should do
America's role in the world becomes...
I think he should have done it before asking Congress permission. Excuse me,
let her finish.
Everybody is shocked. I'd like to get a word in edgewise, okay? I want to go back to, first of all, I think that the president should have acted before asking Congress. I want to go back to something that Christian said. I agree with you. Chemical weapons, since the late 19th century, the world has frowned upon them. The chemical weapons ban you've had countries sign on to. It's the most grotesque use of war and destruction on humanity that we know. And I think going back to something we were talking about during the break, Charlie, that if America has lost its greatness and influence and might under, I would say, various circumstances. We can look at Bush, we can look at today under this president. And if we are not able to find resolution as a country on Syria, our credibility is going to go down the toilet. Right now, Iran is watching, North Korea is watching, and like it or not, we are the world's conscience. We are the cop on the beat. And I'm not for intervention. I'm not a neocon. No, wait a minute. And back to what Christian... Can I go back to what Christian said?
You've made your point quite well. But isn't that what people said about the war in Iraq? That Iran is watching, that this will, if we don't get involved in Iraq, that it's going to have an impact on Iran.
Well,
and now they're saying the same thing about
That's the other fascinating possibility here.
I'm not sure they said that.
Is that if this Russian thing comes about, if Syria really, if Assad really is pressured, the Iranians, he's their client too. And if Rouhani could use this as a way to engage the United States to reach some deal on the nuclear thing, that's the great. Look, the second term of Obama is about two huge challenges: how to solve the problem in Syria, how to solve the problem with Iran. And they might be connected. And history's like this. We saw that today. Accident, gaffes, all sorts of miscommunications. These things create history. They also create wars.
Assad is not
and my point is simply, no,
like
of course
Christian
he isn't.
said,
but I'm saying that if there's a way forward...
Nobody's saying Assad is a victim.
Well, we were talking about the chemical weapons, and Jonathan just said, oh, it's the rebels. There's no evidence that the rebels used the chemical weapons on people. I mean, you can talk about the German report, fine. But, and also back to something you said we should give Russia this opportunity. Give Russia the gift.
Yeah.
Andrew, why should we give Russia anything?
Because
Russia is arming Assad. So chemical weapons go away, and they're still arming Assad.
If they have agreed publicly at the UN and in public to
we can trust Putin.
Well, we can watch it. Yes, we can see if this happens. It's perfectly possible to watch if this happens. The point is, the important thing is the achievement of the goal. It does not matter anymore. And this is why Obama is such an interesting president. It doesn't matter if America has the credit. It doesn't. This is a new world. America's credibility is, after Bush, Cheney, in tatters, and after Iraq War. If we can get the rest of the world to do our job for us, why not?
If we can reintegrate
the world hasn't done the job for us as we sat on the sidelines.